Everybody. Okay, so basically, I've tried to record this video like 5 times. I really hope this one works. Yay. Anyway, so today, we're going to be doing the Ghost tutorial, which is the first Roblox class that we've done, right? The Ghost is a high, or you can call it high damage. It's a high damage ranged class with pretty low health. But, yeah, let's just get started. So first off, your LMB is the second most useful part of your kit, right? It's pretty easy to hit at least one of your LMB shots because, like, your LMBs are in, like, in a spray, right? Yeah, it's like in a spray, and, like, they're not in, like, a same line, and so you can, like, move while doing them, and they'll go in different directions, right? Each one of these does 2 damage. If you hit all of them, it will do 10, which is not great, saying you have to hit a bunch of shots, right? So, yeah, we'll explain more about that later, but there's a twist to it that makes it one of the most powerful abilities in the game. So, your Q is, like, basically a melee. It does 5 damage and applies shock, and has a pretty low cooldown, right? So, what shock does, it slows an enemy down and makes their screen shake. So, it just guarantees a few of your LMB's hits on people, because it makes it easier to hit them, because they're just slowed and they're confused. Right? We'll talk about the ability section. Your E, though. This is very useful for not dying because you only have 70 health. So your E makes you very hard to see. And it will be automatically canceled out of this semi-invisible state if you use any of your attacks. And then we'll talk about the ability section, obviously, but it's really useful. Your F, though. See what that does? That doubles your damage from all sources, including your F. And if you hit the F, you have a lower cooldown. Your cooldown is halved. But just watch this. Let me get to 10. Or just 5. 64 damage per hit. If I get to 8, I'm pretty sure I can one-shot it. The 10,000 health thing. 9? Okay, 9. Yeah, 9 you can one-shot it. With 10 of those marks, you deal 2,000 damage per shot. It doubles every time you hit one mark, and it's extremely deadly, right? You hit one of these, the enemy is just almost instantly dead. You deal too much damage, right? All your sources do a lot of damage, and if you can hit a second one, they're guaranteed to have a night-night, right? Like, there's no way they survive it. It's too much damage, especially for a ranged class. It's a lot. Anyways, so to use I forgot what I was gonna say. So the ability section. How do you use all these abilities? So first off, your LMB, unless you have mark, it's not super important that you hit it. It obviously is important to like do damage, but unless you have marked, you don't need to be like really being aggressive. Like if you have marked, you're gonna go in there. Like, do as most damage as you can and try to hit another mark. But if you don't have mark, play it, like, really safe, right? Use your E to, like, stay away from people. Don't try to use your Q unless they're marked. If they're marked, play aggressive. If they're not marked, don't play aggressive. That's the thing for marked. Oh, I forgot to mention, when they're marked, you can see them through walls. Anyways, so yeah, that's the LMB, right? When they're marked, you play aggressive with all your abilities, every single one of them. When they're not marked, though, play it safe. Don't go like rushing people and doing all that stuff, because you're not doing that much damage anyways. Saying that it's a moving target, and these only do 2 damage per hit. If they're marked, get up close, use your shock, use like all your abilities. Make sure you're hitting those, right? Next up, your shock thing, right? If it like a melee character, this ability just lets you deal with melee characters much better than without it, right? Like ranged characters and melee characters, if the melee can get close enough, boom, it's a win for the melee, right? But with this ability, it lets you shock, and then you can run away with your E, right? So this ability like lets you keep your distance better, and your E helps with it, right? But if a melee is close to you, always use it. but unless they have a mark, don't be aggressive with it, like trying to go up close with your Q and then use it. Because it doesn't slow them down too much. They're going to get a few hits off of you, right? I mean, it slows them down, obviously, but not, like, a lot. And it doesn't even do that much damage, so unless they're marked, you shouldn't use it for damage. You should only use it for shock, right? And if they are close, use it. I mean, it's free damage, right? If they aren't close, don't try to use it. It has decent range. Not the best range, but it has pretty decent range, right? So if they are close, use it. If they aren't, don't use it. If they're marked, aggressiveness. The best defense is defense, and the best offense is offense, not the other way around. Because the best defense is not offense, then you just leave the part that you're trying to defend wide open. The best offense is offense. Yeah. Anyways, so that's how your Q works. Your E, though, makes you move faster while you're super hard to see. If they already have, like, their eyes on you, it's kind of useless unless you're running away. But if you just, like, jumped into the water of death and then you use it, it's super hard to track you. Like, if you just got hit by something that does knockback, use your E, because this ability makes it really hard to see you at high speeds. And if they are tracking you, it's not going to do much except let you move a little bit faster and get close to them. If they're marked, like, use your E to get close to them and immediately use your move, right? If when they're marked, you need to get close to them. If you're not, then it's just a waste of your most useful ability. So, yeah. And then your mark, just like I've been explaining through all of these other abilities, when you mark somebody, you need to play aggressive. Because if you don't, what's the point of even marking them? And plus, without your mark, you have very little damage. If you're not hitting your mark, then your damage output is going to be significantly lower. So always try to use your mark because it gives you so much damage. And it's just kind of insane. Just one mark, one ability, doubles all damage output from all sources, including its own. And even if you can't hit any shots, you can see where they're going, right? Because they are hidden. Like, not hidden, sorry. They're the opposite of hidden. They are seeable through walls, whatever, right? Here, if I, like, hit that, right, I can still see it. Another thing, Mark has infinite range, infinite speed, and has a relatively low cooldown. Has a really low cooldown if you hit it, but if you don't hit it, it has a pretty low cooldown of 4 seconds, which doesn't seem too low, but it's lower than you think it is. So yeah, but Ghost, how do you use Ghost, right? So first off, always be throwing out your LMB. It's pretty inaccurate saying there's like a bunch of them, right? But always be throwing it out. Doing a little bit of screen shake is fine. At like a long distance, you're gonna try to want to like put them all in one area, like only spread it out a little bit. But at short range, you might want to do that because they can move around it better. So if you just do this, it's just like if they're like right up close to you, yeah, like do a single shot like and stand still, right? But if they're not too close to you, make sure to spread out your bullets because it guarantees like at least one of those to hit, right? So always be using your LMB or Q. If they're close, use it. And if they're marked, be aggressive and use it because if they're marked and use your Q, it slows them down, right? Which is good because then you can get a few more hits while they're marked and they take extra damage, right? Your E, use it for running, being aggressive, or keeping distance from your foes. If they're marked, aggressiveness is key to the Ghost, although it is a range, right? If they're but when they're not marked, you want to stay away from them, right? Stay as far as you can while still being able to hit your shots. And if they're close to you, use your shock, right? But your mark. Anytime you hit a mark, be as aggressive as possible. Try to hit all your shots, right? Because when they are marked, they are so vulnerable because you do a lot of damage, especially when you're up close and you can hit those shots better. It's just a lot of damage, right? Overall, Ghost should be played as a very, very aggressive character. Like, the second you hit a mark, you're going to try to be, like, the most aggressive character in the game, right? But if they're not marked, you need to, like, really play strong defensive and, like, play it safe, right? If they're close, like shock them and then run away, or just try to keep distance. But the second you hit that shock, run up there, be aggressive, and then do a lot of damage, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for Ghost, like a just quick tutorial, right? So yeah, if you like this, subscribe, right? If you want some certain special class, tell me which one you want in the comments below, and I'll try to do that next, right? So yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and have a good day.